Today's video, you guys, is another What's for Dinner. What is up, you guys? My name is Kira if you are new, and in today's video, I have a bunch of What's for Dinner clips to share with you guys. So these are photographs of my personal dinner plate. And last time I put out a What's for Dinner video, a bunch of you asked in the comments why I don't break down and share with you how I cook every single one of these recipes. And to be honest, you guys, I've mentioned this in the past, but dinner time for us is always crazy, especially now that the kids have dance and karate and piano lessons and all this stuff. We are just usually throwing things together and there's no time to structure setting up the camera. If I did, we wouldn't eat until 9 o'clock at night. And so it's easier for me to just go ahead and take a picture of it and then point you guys in the right direction on how to still make these recipes. I do share cooking videos all of the time, and a lot of these are oldies but goodies that I already have videos for. So one way or another, I send you guys to another video where I've shared with you step by step on how to prepare it, or a link to Pinterest where you can go ahead and see. Sometimes I even handwrite the recipes in the description box, but everything is accessible for you. And this way I get to bring you more recipes, because if this was an actual cooking video, I would never be able to prepare 12 meals and share them all with you guys like I have for you today. So let me bring you down to my counter in the kitchen and share with you what I create for my family of 6 at dinner time. Our first meal is super easy and screams summertime vibes, but I absolutely love the apple chicken sausage that I get from Trader Joe's. It cooks up so well on the barbecue, so that's what I have grilled on the bottom left side of the plate. Super simple, doesn't even need like a dipping sauce. They are just so flavorful, and like I said, they grill up perfectly. But I think what I was most excited about was my hot dog topper. So if you don't know, I'm originally from Long Island, and on Long Island, there are little hot dog trucks and stands everywhere where they sell soubrette hot dogs. I've been looking for them everywhere. Someone told me to go to Sprouts, so I'm definitely going to travel that way eventually, maybe when Madison's here, so that I can see if I can find them. But these are soubrette onions, and it's a marinated, very tangy, vinegar-based onion, and it tastes so delicious on top of a hot dog. If I had a little bit of that liquid nacho cheese, that would literally be the ultimate, because it is so good. So we had that on top of our hot dogs, or at least I did, and then I made my cheddar bacon potato salad. This recipe is so good, and it's in my first cookbook that I wrote with the 2 girls, and they're always linked in the description box if you guys want to check them out on Amazon. But that potato salad with the apple sausage and then the hot dog, like I said, it just screams summer vibes. I love to grill out. Now, Taco Tuesday is a big deal in our house. We always do some kind of Tex-Mex meal every single Tuesday, but I try and switch it up. It's not always just regular tacos. So on this night, I decided to do quesadillas. Quesadillas are a huge hit in my family, and they're super easy. And this night, I kind of amped it up because we had some leftover steak, and leftover steak inside of a quesadilla just really elevates it that extra notch. So I cut up some steak. I got that quesadilla shredded cheese from Walmart that was really good. I had never had it before, and it really was perfect for a quesadilla. So I grilled each one of us up a quesadilla, and then I have those late July chips. Those are literally my favorite chips of life. They are so good. They have this great multi-green flavor. They taste great with everything. I halved some of the Wild Wonder cherub tomatoes, and then a little bit of sour cream with green onion. This, you guys, was so good, super easy, and a perfect Taco Tuesday. Now, really perfect for me, I think, is some kind of chicken-based sandwich. I absolutely love fried chicken. I know it's probably not the healthiest choices, but I love fried chicken, especially on some kind of like seeded bun like this with lettuce and tomato and a little bit of mayo. Cheese and bacon would have amped this up amazing. Something like this is just so good. And this was a I don't remember, like a country fried chicken recipe. I found it on Pinterest, so I'll link it down below. It was a very, very simple, more of a double batter. You just season your flour and then you go back and forth from your flour to your egg mixture and then back to your your flour, your egg, and back and forth until you get like a double coated, nice, hearty, crispy piece of chicken. And then you go ahead and just stick that into the fryer. You can air fry it. I have a great air fryer that I love. That's also a rotisserie by Casserole that's linked in my Amazon store below. That would have been great just to air fry it, but the sandwich was so light and perfect and easy. I just coupled it with a bag of that Smart Pop popcorn because it didn't even need a side dish. Like we all just had a little chips or popcorn on the side and then our chicken sandwich. And that really was a super easy night for a night when we're running, and very delicious and filling. And I can't say enough about it. Now I can't stop thinking about that chicken sandwich, and I'm contemplating why I didn't put Chick-fil-A sauce on that. Oh my goodness, that would have been the game changer. All right, speaking of a game changer, I finally forced my family to embrace this just a little bit, and they really have just jumped on the bandwagon with me, and I appreciate it so, so much. But I really love garlic and oil pasta. My grandfather was straight off the boat Italian, and he used to call this spaghetti aioli, and he just loved any kind of pasta with garlic and oil. It was just his favorite thing. But I don't like to just serve a basic pasta like that without any kind of like meat or more substance. So this is a little bit of ground sausage that I ground up with the garlic and oil. Sometimes I'll add broccoli just to mine or to mine and Maya's and Jacob's. Not everybody likes the broccoli, but on this night I just made a big pot. I skipped the whole broccoli thing and we all had a nice hearty bowl of this garlic and oil corkscrew pasta with just a little bit of that ground sausage, and you needed literally nothing else, you guys. It was just so, so good. And then we coupled it with the chopped salad. That's the pickle chopped salad from Costco. And if you guys love pickle, I promise you, if you try a salad, you will not turn back because it is so, so good. But it was very light and refreshing and a very surprising, great complement to flavors alongside of that pasta. But this was a perfect pasta Friday night. So this was a recipe I was dying to make, and I think eventually I will film this as a full cooking video for you guys to see, but it's probably hard to tell exactly what that is, but that is a big, thick pork chop that I crusted and I filleted open and I stuffed with my sausage stuffing. So that I do have a recipe video for, and I will link it up above for you guys. It's probably one of my favorite recipes, especially for this time of year. It's super easy. It's a sausage stuffing and it is so, so good. And besides that, I literally used my own crust. Like I made my own shake and bake, but you can use shake and bake. That would be just as easy. And you're just going to shake and bake your pork chop and then fillet it open and stuff it with that sausage stuffing and bake it in the oven until it reaches eternal temperature. That's it. It is literally so, so good. Now, I serve that alongside of mac and cheese, but I think I've mentioned on my channel multiple times that I do not like mac and cheese. Like if you guys ever see it on my plate, it is just for the tube. It is just for the photo. It is not for my own personal liking because I do. So instead, for myself, I had some fries left over for us eating out for lunch one day, and I just threw a little bit of leftover cheese and bacon that we had in the refrigerator on top and melted it and made myself some cheesy fries with a side of my homemade ranch. So who can say no to that? But this was a super, super yummy meal and very, very easy, you guys. All you really have to do is make that stuffing and then stuff it inside of that pork chop and you are good to go. For our next dinner, I have a recipe I hadn't made in so, so long, and I'm sorry that I've been sleeping on this one. So I have my regular enchilada recipe that is my own creation in that cookbook that I mentioned that's linked down below. It's a red sauce based enchilada with beef on the inside, which was good, but we were kind of getting tired of it over time. And so I created this one, which is literally thebomb.com. Like I said, I'm sorry I've been sleeping on this one, but I have a whole cooking video for it. I can link it up above. I've mentioned before, and I think in my meal plan, it has a really long intro. So just kind of skip the intro part because I was talking about other things that had nothing to do with the actual video. But once you get down to the bulk of it, this is a super easy recipe. So this is a creamy chicken, enchilada. So inside of it is just cream cheese and shredded chicken and some green chilies and I think another or two ingredient, and then you mix it all together and then you just roll it inside of a tortilla and you pour the green enchilada sauce on top and you bake it in the oven. You guys, it is so simple and so easy. So as usual, I have it coupled with some of those late July chips and a little bit of cilantro and sour cream. That's how I just like to do my Tex-Mex nights, but this was so good and a perfect switch up to our normal enchiladas. Pizza and wings, you guys. Who says no to pizza and wings? And I actually made a bacon cheeseburger pizza. I had a little bit of bacon left over still in the fridge. We had some ground beef left over still in the fridge, or burgers. No, I think we had a burger or two left over. And we cut all the little pieces of leftover cheeseburger and bacon, and I did like a ketchup based sauce on the bottom, and then we did the burger and bacon and the regular shredded cheese, and it was so good. Even on the pizza crust from Walmart, it was still really good. And then I get excited when I get wings, you guys, because they are amazing in the air fryer. They come out as if they've been soaking in grease for 20 minutes and fried crispy to perfection, but they're not. They're in that Casserole air fryer. They still have the wet mouth feel. They're good and crispy, and they're literally perfect with my homemade ranch dressing, which I can link up above for you guys. I've shared it in a bunch of meal prep videos, but pizza, ranch, wings, that's another great Friday in our house. So one thing that I absolutely hate is a crock pot meal that just doesn't look aesthetically pleasing to the eye. A lot of them don't because they're fall apart or they're mushy or everything just kind of goes together. But this was a recipe that I made in the crock pot, and it's a buffalo chicken sloppy joe, which I don't know. I guess I had a different mental picture for it. I think next time I'm not going to shred chicken and I'm going to get ground chicken, because a sloppy joe to me just has like a different mental feel. So I didn't know how I felt about the shredded chicken. And then they also, what you see, those little orange pieces, was carrot. Like it had a lot of carrot and veggies and stuff in the recipe, which I don't know. I don't put carrot in my sloppy joe. So it was a little bit weird, but oddly enough, it was still really good. It was just different. I did mine bunless. So I just put my buffalo chicken on a plate with a little bit of blue cheese dressing on top, but with some tweaking, this recipe could be really good. I found it on Pinterest, of course. So I'll link it down below if you guys want to check it out yourself, but it still needs tweaking in my opinion. And then I served it with some poutine. So I got waffle fries from Sam's Club, I think, and Daryl just loves poutine, and I'm gonna have poutine gravy until the cows come home, because when I did my box swap with Vanessa, she sent me a ton, and then a bunch of you guys have sent me some to my PO box. So once I get my hands on cheese curd, I whip up some gravy, I throw it on top of some fries, and it goes perfect alongside of many things. But on this night, we did it next to our buffalo chicken sloppy joes. Another new recipe, and this one's gonna need some tweaking as well, but I was kind of bored over Tex-Mex nights. Like I said, I try and switch it up a little bit, and I found a recipe where you do like a taco casserole on top of cornbread. I'm not gonna lie, you guys, it was really good, but I made the mistake of buying I think it was called a Mexican style cornbread. It was a Martha White like prepackaged mix. So it had a little bit of like a jalapeno flavor to it. It was still really good and very complimentary to a Tex-Mex meal. But I think doing it on regular cornbread with a little bit of that sweet would have been that controversy of flavors that go really well. I think all the flavors of the taco casserole, which all I did was put some Mexican corn. I got a can of Mexican corn from Walmart and then a can of Rotel. I just mixed that in to some ground beef. That was it. I put that on top of the cornbread that I baked separately, and then I covered it with cheese and baked it in the oven and then topped it with our own taco toppings. It was really good. I just feel like all around it ended up being the same flavor. That sweetness of the cornbread, I think, just would have added a different dynamic and it would have amped the flavor. But for you guys, just let that be a thought in the back of your head that you can take your tacos, your standard taco toppings, and bake some cornbread first and then throw it on top and throw it back in the oven and then slice it. It's just a different way to serve tacos, and you can do it in a casserole form and bake it ahead of time. But I just really enjoyed it. It was super, super easy. And like I said, it'll require some tweaking, but it definitely will be a arsenal recipe once I got it nailed. I know a lot of people do crock pot recipes more in the fall time. There's a whole stigma around crock pot for Crocktober and all of that, but I like to do crock pot meals when it's wicked hot outside because I don't want to always turn my oven on when it's super hot. So I love to do crock pot meals in the summertime, and I love pot roast, which is something that you would just attribute to the cooler weather, but I just love throwing a roast into the crock pot and walking away from it and coming back and letting it make its own juice that I turn into gravy and ladling that over mashed potatoes. Like, that to me is the ultimate. So I made a pot roast, super simple. I just season with salt, pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder and let the baby go. And that's it. Low and slow for 8 hours. It makes its own juice. I'll use Gravy Master or one of those packets or something, and I'll turn the juice into some kind of gravy. Sometimes I'll just use flour and just thicken that itself, but I usually like a little Gravy Master. Adds a little extra oomph. Made some mashed potatoes, which I actually have a cooking video on how I make my mashed potatoes, so I can link that up above for you. A little sour cream on the side because I love sour cream on all of my potatoes. And then that's the Mexican corn, like a bag of it I get from Trader Joe's. It was the only corn we had left in the house, and I love corn with my mashed potatoes, so I threw it alongside of it, and it still worked out absolutely dynamite. So something new, but still something dynamite, was these crispy Parmesan potatoes that I just made just a couple of nights ago with my roasted chicken. And you guys, knock it out of the park. First time I ever made it, and it worked like literally amazing. That I'm going to whip up a batch of these with some pork chops along with some other meals, and I'm going to drop it off to my sick friend who is going to be down and out for a couple of weeks, and I'm going to do a little COVID drop off at her front door. But these crispy Parmesan potatoes are one of the ones that are going to go there. You guys, listen to me carefully, and I promise you're going to make these the next day that you cook a meal, and you're not going to be sorry. So take in a bowl a little bit of Parmesan cheese and season it. Salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, oregano, paprika. A teaspoon of each. That's it. You're going to mix it all together, and then you're going to take a sheet pan and you're going to pour some olive oil on it. Roll it around so that it covers the pan completely. Once it's covered, you want to sprinkle that mixture. Don't pour it all on and try and move it because it'll get wet from the olive oil. Sprinkle it so that it's a nice even coating across the whole pan, and then cut your potatoes and slice them to about 1.5 inches thick, and then place them down onto the Parmesan cheese. And you're going to cut your potatoes and you're going to lay them all out, these big nice wedges like you see there, that thickness of wedge. You're going to line that up on top of the Parmesan cheese, and then you're going to bake it in the oven at 400 degrees for about 30 to 40 minutes. And what it does is it makes the potatoes tender, but then it makes that Parmesan that you put on the bottom crispy. So once you take it out and you let it cool for a minute, they literally peel off of the pan, and it has this crispy Parmesan cheese on top of this really tender potato. Oh my goodness, you guys, with the sour cream. So good. And then I roasted a chicken in the oven. I love dark meat, so I grabbed myself a leg. I got cranberry sauce. I never made stuffing, but that's okay. This crispy Parmesan potato was more than enough to amp up my plate, and that was so good. And now I have all of the Thanksgiving feels. But that, you guys, is it for another What's for Dinner video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, make sure to give it a huge thumbs up. Again, I apologize to those who like a little bit more of a structured how to break down cooking video. This is not to stomp on anybody who loves to do it that way or loves to watch it this way. I just love to share what I make for dinner, and this is the easiest way for me to bring to you what I prepare in my home. Cooking is everything to me, you guys. It always has been. It's been my passion since I'm a little kid. I just enjoy food. I enjoy making it. I mean, clearly when you look at me, you already know that. But I love to do it. I love to make, to create, to think, to taste. I literally love it. It is what I live for. I love to do it for my family. I love to do it for you guys. And again, I hope this video was something that you enjoyed. So if you did, give it that big thumbs up. Subscribe if you are new. I love you guys all so much. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.